The Game Jam is over and November is closing out with a post-Jam patch week. So Game Jam is wrapping up and they're getting back into business as usual just ahead of Christmas. But today we have a regular patch week. Before we get into that, however, I want to quickly mention that there is a Black Friday membership offer. If you're looking to get back into RuneScape ahead of Christmas, you can now pick up a package of 57 days of membership via the web store for £15.99, $21.99, or €19.99 if you do not have a current active subscription. You can check out the special offer category on the web store and get back in game. This membership offer is only available via the web store and not via mobile. Once the 57 days of membership runs its course, it will become a reoccurring 1-month membership. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video so far, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you'd like to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Thank you. That said, we're going to finally look at today's patch notes, see what's been updated with today's update, so let's go ahead and check it out. Starting off with wood cutting, wood spirits have been added to a bunch of loot tables across the game, ranging from normal all the way up to elder wood spirits. Based on the tier of the wood spirit, it is assigned a certain group of mobs appropriate for that level, so you can pause at any point on screen to see exactly which monsters will be dropping these particular wood spirits. In order to add more sources of wood spirits in the game, and in preparation for 110 woodcutting and fletching next month, they've added them to various drop tables in the game. The approach here is to pick a broad variety of mobs across the game and match their tier with the wood spirits to the relative tier of content which players would encounter on their journey through RuneScape. In most cases, they targeted weak or less useful salvage drops to replace them with, while in a handful of cases replaced other logs or other items such as stone spirits. They've also slightly reduced the quantity of magic logs dropped by next Angel of Death. AOD is one of the biggest perpetrators of dropping mass quantities of magic logs, dropping more logs in a single kill than could be gained by most players in an hour of woodcutting. Today's change aims to soften the effect of this and should see little to no effect to overall GP per hour. And they increase the quantity of adamant stone spirit drops from the giant mole in normal and hard mode. Moving on to some Iron Man changes, competitive group Iron Man players can now enable XP share when dungeoneering in Demonheim, updated the statue of the Iron Enclave with the first batch of world firsts. Congratulations. Added the Iron Enclave portal icon to the map and mini-map. The Iron Man plaque in Edgeville now includes Group Iron Man World First achievements. Competitive Group Iron Man players can now teleport to sinkholes using the right-click teleport option. The Group Iron Man storage interface now displays the group name when on mobile. Group Iron Man players should no longer see Iron Man armor pieces in wardrobe, and unfired and ready skilling urns can now be stored inside group storage. Moving on to some combat changes, they adjusted the Blood Reaver healing frequency and interaction with on-hit effects. Looking at toning down the power of the Blood Reaver, having a strong heal tied with a low point cost led to instances where players could endure any and all damage coming at them, with little danger and no real player input. Additionally, Reaver had taken over the dominant familiar when fishing for more DPS due to the bugged interaction with some player damage effects such as poison and god books. The Reaver will no longer apply these effects to increase the cost of choosing Reaver as a familiar over something like the River Demon. Updated the summoning interface to display cooldowns. Those cooldowns are also displayed in pouch and scroll tooltips. Healing from Blood Reaver, Unicorn, and Bunyip no longer interrupt channeled abilities. Scrolls cost 12 summoning points with Spirit Cape, 15 without. Blood Reaver scrolls have a 3-second cooldown now. Blood Reaver passive skill no longer triggers effects through the player. This means it will no longer trigger poison or god books, and Blood Reaver passive works on PvP now. They felt that these changes are pretty light, but we're adding some additional levers such as player facing cooldown, which can adjust if needed, as they felt it's important to get these out now prior to the launch of the Combat Mastery achievements in the new year. They reworked existing tank armor to give a life points boost like Necromancy tank gear. They're going to be monitoring how certain gear performs, such as Crypt Bloom, and may tier down HP bonus if deemed necessary. Additionally, items that already provided HP boosts, such as Rogue's Gloves, have had their boost increased to match similar tank tiering. The Altar of War now reset the cooldown of Power Burst of Vitality potions if the player's last drunk Power Burst was a Power Burst of Vitality. This will require the ability cooldown reset unlock from War's Shop to be unlocked before the Power Burst will be reset, and fixed a number of edge cases where the dive and bladed dive abilities were not displaying the correct target options. Moved on some general changes, added Primal Metal and the Surface Demonheim ores to quick chat, fixed Protean Shakes and unstable Protean Shakes being unusable and free to play. Creature specific wildcards are now correctly sent to the bank instead of the inventory. Following feedback, the Scruffy note found in the Scarbright Cave has now been added to the Master Quest Cave. Move the dedicated upgrade Slayer aura, all 5 tiers, from being a combat aura to being a skilling aura as it was pre-2019. It was felt that it being a combat aura isn't the best place for it to be. All other combat auras have some effect on the act of combat itself, whereas Slayer aura gives a chance at not reducing your Slayer count, which leads to a longer task, which therefore results in more Slayer XP. As this does not affect your combat prowess and only affects the XP you get from the skill, the skilling section feels more appropriate. Fixed an issue that awarded players with an incorrect amount of secondary XP when crafting various items. Fixed an issue that refunded players with an incorrect amount of coins for their completion of escape after their rework. This fix will affect only players that didn't log in since then. Fixed an issue where the players with the Risen Walk animation override active was unable to move after replaying the Death of Chivalry cutscenes using the Skull of Remembrance. Karasi's sword can once again be reclaimed from Commander Tier after the player has keepsaked the sword. Fixed a typo in the Wilderness Flash event broadcast message. Buy limit no longer disappears when switching tabs in the Grand Exchange. Calgarian Notes Part 4 can now be dropped on floors 46 and 47 in Demonheim. The Music Maestro achievement is now completed without a relog if a new song is unlocked after login. Ellen Anturth and Minerva have finally reached level 99 Necromancy and are once again wearing their max capes. Updated Hanabis's model animations within the Fate of the Gods quest. Adjusted the Slayer XP OCS reward when on a relevant task to be more in line with other Rex Matriarch bosses. Premier membership tokens can now be added to the currency pouch. The Holy Knight Sword and Offhand have been added to the Premier token store in the weapons tab. Fixed an issue that made Ode to Deceit appear invisible when used with a wardrobe override. And finally fixed an issue that blocked players from interacting with Divination Wisps diagonally. And that is it for your patch notes. Links to everything discussed in this video will be down in the description below. Head on over there, check them out if you wish to do so, and if you missed last week's video, it will be on screen now, so I'm looking forward to seeing you there, and if not, I will see you with the next RuneScape news coverage video. Until then, I am out. Aloha.